this video, I'm just gonna tell you guys about my 5 college regrets. As a computer engineer by degree, but I am a software engineer by passion, by work. I pursue software. These are just the regrets, my personal regrets. So when I could go back to college, these are the things that I'm gonna be more strategic, and these are the things that I need to be mindful of. First one is overthinking your course too much. Like I said, I am a software engineer now. I pursue software, but I have a degree in computer engineer. So my course is computer engineering. When I was in the phase of deciding what course I'm gonna take, I had 3 options: computer science, computer engineering, and information technology. When I was choosing among these 3, there are, overthinking. So there are over plannings that I did when I was choosing about those 3. And it's a silly reason for me because those 3 are related to each other. In fact, the difference is very subtle, actually, that you cannot even recognize if your course is this or that. Like, for example, with computer engineer. So computer engineering, of course, it's a focus on hardware and software. But when you are there, when you have this course, you don't really feel that there's a pressure between hardware and software, because computer science also has hardware, also has, software. So there's not much difference. And now I am a software engineer, so meaning that my work is related to software. So regardless of these 3, if I pick computer science or information technology, I can be a software engineer. And in fact, even if it's not on those 3 courses that I take, I can still be a software engineer regardless of the course, actually. And in fact, even if you don't have a course, if you don't have a degree in a specific course, so you can be a software engineer. So my point here is, you don't have to overthink your course. When you are deciding what course you're gonna take, it's just your guide. So we have different reasons in choosing our course. Your reason for choosing that course, maybe it's what your parents want for you, or it's your friends who influence you, or it's your personal choice because you are interested in that course. We have different reasons, but at the end of the day, that course would not define who you will be in the future. Take your course as a guide. It's just a guide. You cannot enter college if you don't have any course. If you don't pick a course, you cannot enter college. It's just a guide. And give it a try first. Give it a try after, let's say, give it a couple of years, after 2 years. So maybe that's when you're gonna judge if it's really a course for you or not. And sometimes, when we are trying stuff, when we are doing it in a day-to-day basis, your routine is, involve your course. Sometimes we are starting to love it. Don't overthink your course. It's just your guide to enter college, and it's gonna define who you will be in the future. So the next one is not socializing enough. In the age of AI, especially now, 2026, is where AI keeps on improving, and we discover things, we invent things, that is impressive, and it's impressive. It's good for us, but there are times that it can impact our relationship authenticity, especially the being genuine in one thing. It ruined that aspect. So when you are socializing now, when you know how to socialize, so it's giving you the edge after college, for example. So when you know how to socialize, you can build a network of people who have the same mindset as you. You're gonna be in a room filled with people who have the same knowledge as you, and that's when the doors of opportunities will open for you. So in college, this is something that I regret the most. One of the most impactful, I guess, is not socializing enough. College is about having friends, network, social, having the knowledge, exploration, and gathering different people in your life. It also enhances our skills in socializing, making the first move. Just have the mindset of initiating. After college, you're the one who's gonna initiate. You're the one who's gonna make the first move, especially if you are hired in the company. So you'll be the one who will reach out to your manager, to your lead, to ask some questions. So maybe that's the first step. Maybe that's the practice for us when we socialize. So the next one is not having the curiosity to learn. This was me, actually. In college, I don't have any desire to learn. In fact, I don't have the mindset of wanting to learn a lot, even if it's not related to what I'm interested. So I have this kind of like a pragmatic mindset where I just gonna learn what I'm gonna need in the future. That was my mindset before, and I was wrong. Even if those subject is not really valuable for us in the future, we're gonna be wrong, and we're gonna experience that after our college, because we're gonna be in a world where it's not only about what we are interested in, it's about other things now, especially other skills, mind skills, soft skills. For example, the subject ethics, it teaches us how we learn about ourselves, about our mind, that can help us in the long run, even after college. So don't underestimate or don't overlook those subjects. Just have that curiosity to learn. Don't focus only on what you think is practical, because it might change. There's a big chance that what you want now will not be what you want in the future, and this is just based on my experience. And the next is not managing my time correctly. Yes, I know I have this video on that kind of blew up on YouTube as well. It talks about my college life. You can see there, if you watch that video, you can see how careless I was, how I don't pay attention. I was just there for the attendance. I was just there to sit and to just pass the time, diba? So I was just an average student. In fact, I don't consider myself average. It's below average. I was near to failing a subject. Yeah, that was me. And now I realize that time management is really important, and if we can manage our time in college, it's a practice for us in the future after college, because after college it tests us. How are we gonna manage our time? It's a practice for us. If we can have the chance to do it now, why don't we do it now? Other people might say, oh, you don't have to do it, you're not yet working. Well, for me, it's better to be prepared, I guess. It's better to learn these things as early as now than learning it after college and learning it with real scenarios. You know what I mean? It's like in software development, when we test something, at first we're gonna use dummy data for testing, for us to not ruin the real data, and then we're gonna test it on a real data. What I'm suggesting is you do it now, as early as now in your college. The risk is not that high. You're like using just dummy data, unlike when you do it on the real world after college, when interacting with other people, the risk is much higher. You know what I mean? So if you can do it now, then better do it now. So the last one, this is not really a regret, I guess. This is more of like a mindset, is to have a go with the flow mindset. You might say that go with the flow is like kind of contradicting, diba, to what I just said. But for me, when you say go with the flow, it just means that this is just college. I'm not saying, I'm not underestimating it, but when I say this is just college, it means that it's not that a big deal for us, because college is a preparation. We all know that. So when you have this go with the flow mindset, you're gonna act as a college student. You are in the middle of being playful or being goofy, and you're also a serious guy. You're also someone who take things seriously. So you just need to be in the middle. I think for me, that's the college. College life is you're just in the middle. There are times you're gonna be playful, and there are also times you're gonna take things seriously. And so when I say have a go with the flow mindset, so act as if you are just college, not being too playful, not being too careless, and also not being too serious, not having a life. Act according to what you are. You are in the middle of these two stages. If you have that go with the flow mindset, you're not gonna stress too much, because like in my previous points, diba, you are paying attention when your prof is discussing, because you have the curiosity to learn, not only about what you want to be in life, but in general when there's exams. So you don't have to worry too much, because you already gain some knowledge when your prof is discussing. You listen. Yeah, that leads to being go with the flow. So you don't have to stress college. College is not stressing. I can tell you that this is just based on my experience, and now that I'm working as a software engineer, this is more stressing than college. Yeah, so to wrap things up, in college we are a student, but we have a bigger responsibility than being high school, than being in primary. This is the final stage where we're gonna really learn a lot. For me, if I could go back in time, I'm gonna be more prepared. I'm gonna learn a lot, because things can change. In fact, things will change actually, and because of AI, so yeah, things can change. So just be strategic, I guess, and just enjoy it, go with the flow, and I'll see you at the top.